The fear of miscegenation served as a great hindrance to integration and the civil rights movement. Miscegenation is the mixing of different racial groups through marriage, cohabitation, sexual relations, and procreation. Jack Johnson, the first black heavyweight champion, said, "I am not a slave. I have the right to choose who my mate shall be without the dictation of any man. I have eyes and I have a heart, and when they fail to tell me who I shall have for mine, I want to be put away in a lunatic asylum." However, for decades, anti-miscegenation laws did dictate whom African Americans could choose to be in a relationship with. In 1964, the same year that the Civil Rights Act was passed, 19 states still prohibited mixed-race marriages. By 1966, interracial relationships were still illegal in 17 states. Laws prohibiting interracial relationships were finally overturned in 1967 following the Loving v. Virginia Supreme Court case. Mildred Loving, a black woman, and Richard Loving, a white man, left the state of Virginia to marry and returned to their home there. Because interracial marriages were illegal in Virginia, the two were arrested and forced to leave Virginia for 25 years. In a unanimous decision, the Supreme Court found that under our Constitution, the freedom to marry or not marry a person of another race resides with the individual and cannot be infringed upon by the state. The effect of the fear of mixed-race relationships is clear in integration in the South. The Southern states that continued to uphold anti-miscegenation laws were the same Southern states who fought to uphold segregation in schools. The Daily News of Jackson, Mississippi published a statement which summarized the reasoning of many supporters of anti-miscegenation laws. White and Negro children in the same schools will lead to miscegenation. Miscegenation leads to mixed marriages, and mixed marriages lead to the mongrelization of the human race. Charles Robinson, the author of Dangerous Liaisons, Sex and Love in the Segregated South, explains that anti-miscegenation laws existed as a tool to support both a white patriarchal structure and a race-based caste system. He also notes that interracial intimacy and relationships were punished much more severely than sex alone. Historian Peggy Pascoe says this is because interracial sex was not only too common to police, but was also seen as less threatening to the American gender-racial hierarchy that anti-miscegenation laws were created to protect. Gunnar Myrdal, author of An American Dilemma, The Negro Problem and Modern Democracy, believes that interracial sex was seen as a large threat to Southern whites. He argues that the angst over interracial sex between black men and white women was the motivating factor for Southern whites to maintain segregation. The effect that the fear of mixed-race relationships had on the civil rights movement proved how highly destructive fear can be to harmonious human relations.